Hello everyone. We are going to start a new chapter. This is chapter 8 and name of this chapter is Earth Pressure on Retaining Structures. So this is the outline of this chapter. Let's first discuss what is earth pressure. The force which is on the retaining wall when the soil is retained at a slope steeper than it can sustain by virtue of its shearing strength. The magnitude of earth pressure is a function of the magnitude and nature of the absolute and relative moments of the soil and the structure. So this is the earth pressure. Next is the lateral earth pressure. It is the pressure exerted by the earth backfill on the back of the wall is known as lateral earth pressure, and this pressure is always horizontal in direction. Next is the retaining structure. So this is the structure which are designed and constructed to withstand lateral pressure of soil or hold back soil materials. So these are known as retaining structures. The lateral pressure could be also due to different earth filling, liquid pressure, sand and other granular materials behind the retaining wall structure. And there are various types of retaining wall structures which are used for numerous goals or for numerous works. Next is the forces acting on the retaining wall. So let us discuss what are the types of forces which are acting on the retaining wall. So first is the vertical, or one of this is vertical earth pressure. This is the pressure applied in the vertical direction due to the backfill laying above it. So whatever the backfill or the retained soil present behind the retaining wall, the vertical direction, this or the load applied by this backfill in vertical direction is known as vertical earth pressure. Number 2 is the horizontal earth pressure. The pressure applied in the horizontal direction due to backfill is called the horizontal pressure, or it also known as lateral earth pressure. Next, purpose of earth pressure calculation, or why it is necessary for us to know about the earth pressure. So the main purpose is to know the calculation. As we know, it is necessary to design different structures like retaining wall, bridge, abutment, temporary earth supporting structures. So before construction of any civil engineering work, it is necessary to know the calculation of earth pressure. Next is the types of earth pressure. So in 1929, Terzaghi, who is known as the father of soil mechanics, he was conducted an experiment on the retaining wall and showed the relation of pressure on the wall if wall changes in its position. That means to move inwards to the backfill or outward of it means outward from the retaining structure, or backfill, outward from the backfill, or remain at its place. So depends upon this movement of the retaining wall. There are 3 types of earth pressure, like earth pressure at rest, active earth pressure, third one is the passive earth pressure. So let us discuss one by one. So first is the earth pressure at rest. Its notation is P0 or P0. So when the wall is at rest and the material is in its natural state, then the pressure applied by the material on the retaining wall is known as earth pressure at rest, and it is represented by P0. This figure shows the earth pressure at rest. This is the retaining wall, this is the backfill. Next is the coefficient of earth pressure at rest. Its notation is K0 or K0 coefficient. So it is the ratio of horizontal and vertical principal effective stresses when the retaining wall does not move at all. And so the notation K0 equal to we mathematically write like that, lateral pressure divided by vertical pressure. And again, K naught equal to lateral pressure, that is sigma H by sigma V, or implies K naught equal to sigma H by, we represent or we can replace the vertical pressure by gamma into Z. So sigma H equal to K naught into gamma into Z. Z is the height at height Z. So P naught or pressure equal to, we know the formula, K naught into gamma into Z. So you have to remember this formula. So this is the intensity of pressure at height Z. As we put here Z, so that this is the intensity of pressure at height Z. But the resultant pressure is P naught equal to, we have to derive it half into K naught into gamma into Z square. So P naught equal to, finally the resultant is half into K naught into gamma into H square. So you have to remember the intensity of pressure value, also the resultant pressure value. And this is resultant at height H. This is H square. In place of Z, we replace it by H. So where P naught equal to total pressure per unit height Z, K naught equal to coefficient of earth pressure at rest, gamma equal to unit weight of soil, H equal to total height of retaining wall, then Z equal to soil element at depth Z from top, then sigma V equal to vertical stress, sigma H equal to horizontal stress. Then next is the active earth pressure or PA. So when the wall moves away from the backfill, there is a decrease in the pressure on the wall, and this decrease continues until a minimum value has reached, after which there is no reduction in the pressure and the value will become constant. And this kind of pressure is known as active earth pressure. And basically this happens when the wall is very much weak and old enough to resist the earth pressure. So this is a figure which shows that the retaining wall, the initial, this is the backfill. So this is the movement, this part is the backfill, this is the retaining wall, and this part shows that the movement of the retaining wall towards or against the backfill. So that what happened, the pressure of the backfill on the wall decreases up to some extent. After that this pressure remain constant. So the changes is del H, or the movement of the wall is del H. Next is the coefficient of active earth pressure, that is Ka. So it is the ratio of horizontal and vertical principal effective stresses when a retaining wall moves away from the backfill. So mathematically we can write like this, lateral pressure by vertical pressure, and mathematically this is the formula. You have to remember this, Ka equal to 1 minus sin phi by 1 plus sin phi. After derivation we got this formula, and this is the important formula you have to remember. So K equal to 1 minus sin phi by 1 plus sin phi, where phi equal to angle of friction or frictional angle or shearing resistance. Next is the, or third one is the passive earth pressure, PP. So it is the opposite of the active earth pressure. So when the wall moves towards the backfill, there is an increase in the pressure on the wall, and this increase continues until a maximum value has reached, after which there is no increase in the pressure and the value will become constant. And this kind of pressure is known as passive earth pressure. So this figure shows this is the backfill, this is the retaining wall which moves this much del H towards the backfill. So obviously the pressure of the backfill towards the or on the wall remains increased up to some extent. After that it becomes constant. Next is the coefficient of passive earth pressure, that is Kp. So same definition is same for all the things, that is it is the ratio of horizontal and vertical principal effective stresses when a retaining wall is forced against a soil mass. Here Kp equal to, this is the mathematical term, lateral pressure by vertical pressure, and the final formula is Kp equal to 1 plus sin phi by 1 minus sin phi, or we can write Kp equal to 1 by Ka. So this is the important formula You have to remember this. Kp equal to 1 plus sin phi by 1 minus sin phi. So, let us solve a problem. Write down. Calculate coefficient of active and passive earth pressure for angle of shearing resistance of 35 degree. So, here it is given only the shearing resistance or phi equal to 35 degree. So, let us solve it. So, we know the K equal to, this is the formula, 1 minus sin phi by 1 plus sin phi, or equal to 1 minus sin 35 degree by 1 plus 35 degree. So, this is equal to 0.27. And the another one, this is Kp equal to 1 by Ka equal to 1 by 0.27. This is equal to 3.7. So, this is our answer. So, for this lecture this much. In next lecture we will again continue this chapter with discussing a new term, this is surcharge. So, thank you.